So that set we started with Patrice Rushen. Haven't You Heard was the song we played from that uh, artist. And then, of course, Brendan Rothwell. He has a new CD out called Destiny, and we played his latest radio promotion, which is meant to be. It's going to go to radio, I think, next week. I saw him say, so I wanted to play that for him. And the last song was Thrill Ride off of the CD Thrill Ride by the artist that is now on the program as my guest, Ragan Whiteside. Ragan, how are you this morning?
I am doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So it's been about 4 years, I think, since you and I had a conversation on the radio. We talked, first I talked to you, and then you were part of a documentary I did for Carol Albert's song, I think Femme Flight or something like that. But
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But your career is amazing. So in 2007, you come out with your first project, Class Acts. And 15 years later, you come out with Thrill Ride, which is like incredible. And everything in between is like an evolution. Talk to me about how you feel your composition, your songwriting, your arrangement has evolved over that 15-year period of producing music.
Wow. First of all, thank you so much for, following me like that. That's like, I'm like, oh, but yeah, every single project that we put out, I try to just improve. It's a constant state of growth and improvement, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So it's like, you just keep pushing it, growing your musical vocabulary, both playing and composition wise. So, it's just always just growth, really.
Now, I wasn't aware that you were a vocalist in addition to being a flautist until I listened to music from the Evolve project. And I was like, oh, she sings too. I didn't know. Do you have vocals on your more current tracks, or are they backgrounds, or do you?
No, and you know what? And it's funny because we, as we were sending the album out for mastering, we don't have any vocals on this album, and we're both like, it's like, what happened? I think we just ran out of time, but yeah, usually we have something on there, but yeah.
Interesting.
Focus on that for the next one.
So it's really difficult to sustain excellence over any period, but certainly over 15 years, and to be constantly improving. I mean, all businesses want to do that. They want profits year over year over year over year, and you're making progress like that. What would you say is been the key for you to be successful for so long and progressive for so
long? Not stopping. If you just keep putting one foot in front of the other and you don't stop, eventually you're gonna get to your destination and further. And so, I have a very strong work ethic, probably more than I should have. I am a bit of a workaholic, but I'm constantly pushing myself, and it's just sheer determination, sheer will, because it's hard out here. It's difficult. Yes. And after a while, you get to a point to where you've come too far to turn back. Now you've come too far to quit. So now it's like, now you have to do it, because or else the last 15, 20, 30 years of your life have just been a big waste of time. So, you just got to keep going.
So talking about stopping, we all kind of had to stop, right, for a couple of years with this pandemic. And I've talked to a lot of artists about their journey through that period, through the pandemic period. What challenges did you face? And, how were you able to cope with them?
Well, Dennis and I have two small kids. They are today 4 and 6. So
already? Wow.
I know. So so during the pandemic, they were, 3 and 5 and, and 2 and 4 and so that and then being home, and my son, the older one, Corey, was doing his, I guess, his beginning school, pre-K and kindergarten online, and trying to get a kid to sit in front of a computer like that. And it was a lot of teamwork there, between trying to get him straight and trying to get, my daughter wants to join in too, and then everything else surrounding just the household and the pressure of the pandemic and trying to stay safe and worrying about the family and worrying about trying to, make sure money's still coming in. And, it was it was rough, but we got through it.
That's great. Now, you've worked with amazing people. Of course, your husband, Dennis, is an amazing, highly acclaimed producer, Bob Baldwin. Also, you've also worked with Kelly Minucci, Mary Meadows, and several other highly regarded musicians. And now you have a new project, Thrill Ride. So let's talk about Thrill Ride. Like, how did you conceive it? What was the idea? What were you trying to do with that project that's different from what you've done before?
Well, Thrill Ride, Dennis came up with this crazy track, right? And he's working on it. And it's like, oh my God. And I'm walking by the studio that's in the house, and I'm like, what's I'm poking my head in, what's that? And the song grew from there. And he was like, this song is like, it's a thrill ride, thrill ride, thrill ride. And he kept saying, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Are we gonna make this an album? And so the album actually grew out of that song.
Oh, okay.
And and we had started working on the album anyway, with Off the Cuff, and we knew that song was going to be on the album, but it was like it was kind of like a placeholder until we could figure out the full direction of the album. And so Thrill Ride kind of really just set the course, and we just kept going with it.
Great. The video is funny. Your family's hilarious. I mean, you've got songs for your two kids. I think both of them have a song named after them. Your husband's a producer. You're doing this video game. Why is it important to you that your family is involved in this musical career that you have?
They are my world. My family is my biggest support system. And it's funny, the music and creativity really kind of blossomed once the kids came. Usually they say, oh, once you have kids, everything's going to stop. And, yeah, it got harder, but at the same time, the creativity just opened up, and I want them to be part of everything, and they see what we're doing, and they don't have to go into music, but I love exposing them to, what we do. And Dennis and I, we met with music. And so, it's just always been a constant in our lives.
When you've been on Billboard a number of times, and you seem to have like a genuine enthusiasm, like each time's the first time. How do you maintain that, enthusiasm? So it's not same old same, I'm on Billboard again. How do you're bubbly, you're enthusiastic, you're post-star. How do you keep that high energy?
Being grateful. I'm just so grateful because, we've been working at this a very long time, and it takes a lot of will. It takes a lot of determination. It takes a little bit of luck. And and it can be taken away at any moment. So I'm just grateful for every single opportunity and every little piece of success that we get. I take nothing for granted.
Awesome. Now you're going to be in our area next weekend.
Yes.
Sunday, you're going to be at the Jazz Festival down in White Plains, which is in our listening range, and I hope to be there because you're of all the artists in that area, you're the only one I think I haven't seen live. I've seen everybody else but you.
Really?
Yeah, so
Oh my goodness.
I thought about that the other day. So hopefully I'll get to see you. What can we expect at the White Plains Jazz Festival? Who's going to be with you? What are you guys going to do? Can you talk about some of that?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be playing with some guys that I've been playing with since the beginning, darn near. I grew up in New York. I left New York about 10 years ago to move to Atlanta. And so, going back home, it's just wonderful to play with just some really beautiful people. And it's just going to feel really good. A lot of funk. We always bring bring a lot of energy. Just get up there and just have fun.
Do you know when you'll be on the program that day? Or
it's going to be later in the day, probably around 5:30. But I think that the whole festival starts at like 12 or 1.
Yeah, I think it starts at noon. You can go to the they have a page for the White Plains Jazz Festival Facebook page for our listeners if you want to check it out. It's actually Saturday. It's actually I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is, or it might even start sooner than that. But you're there on Sunday, the 18th next week.
Yes.
So, Ragan, best of luck and God's blessing on you and your family. You've done amazing things. If you had to pass on something to a musician who's struggling, like thinking about, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. what would you say to that person?
You've come too far to turn back now. Really, if you stop now, you've lost, and that's a guaranteed loss if you just stop. That's you taking that L. But as long as you keep going, the sky's the limit.
Good advice. I'm Doc Hardy. She's Ragan Whiteside. You can catch her next Sunday at the Jazz Festival down in White Plains. Hear her amazing flute play and funk, and probably some cuts from the album Thrill Ride. I'm going to play another one. I like this one. It's called Don't You Worry About a Thing from Ragan Whiteside. Ragan, have a great Sunday.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.
Oh.